Hi, I'm Curious Vedant, and welcome to season 4 of my podcast. Today, my guest is Shashank Suryanarayanan, a software engineer with New York Life Insurance Company. He leads a team of software engineers at their digital R&D lab. Hi, Shashank. Welcome to my show.
Hi, Vedant. Thanks for having me on your show.
Yeah, this is really fun. I've had 2 software engineers on my show before you.
That's nice.
So, Shashank, I'm curious to know more about what you do.
Right. So, just to give you a background of what I do, I'm currently a software engineer lead. So, what that means is that I essentially lead a team of software engineers doing new development work for New York Life. On the side, I also do technical design of new applications. So that means that I essentially, chalk out the blueprint for the entire application, and then my team of software engineers go ahead and develop that into a new application.
So, you design new apps?
Yeah, I design new web applications. So if you go to any website, for example, there is a team of engineers essentially designing the whole system. So I do that for New York Life for a new digital experience. So that's what my team and I are working on.
I have interviewed 2 software engineers earlier, like I said. All of you do different kind of work. What
That's
are the
right.
different types of software engineers?
Right. There are many types of software engineers, just like there are many type of any sort of engineer. Um, uh, and then you could say there are software engineers in every sort of industry nowadays. Even if you go for a mechanical engineering or chemical engineering, there is a subset of some of the engineers there who do software development, just because of the scale of the industry and the type of the work that's happening everywhere. Apart from this, we also have traditional web development. Then we have mobile application development. Nowadays, you should be using tons of apps, right? All of that is developed by mobile application developers. And then we have various types of product development. Now, you must have used Excel or Microsoft Word or Zoom, for example. Those are developed by product engineers. There are different types of engineers again within that. Some are good with design and then user experience, and some are more they play a more back end role, or essentially they are behind the scenes. That's why it's called a back end. And then some develop services to be consumed by other industries. So there are various types.
And some also make softwares for computers, right? Like the one I'm using now, right?
That's right. Some develop softwares which sit on top of hardware. For example, an operating system, right? So that's one of the type of engineers you have.
How does coding work?
Mhm.
Most people don't understand codes. How does it get converted to something that everyone understands and uses?
Mhm. That's a great question, right? So, what do you mean by coding? Coding is essentially translating something into a set of instructions that the computer would understand or can break it down, so that the computer can process it. And then to talk about coding itself, earlier when computers were being developed, the type of coding used to be very rudimentary, in the sense that the codes had to be written in a language which the computers could easily understand. Nowadays we have a lot of processors in the middle, So the code that you write or that we write is more user readable or human readable than more machine readable. And then it goes to another set of programs which essentially break it down and convert it into machine readable code. So nowadays we are having coding languages, as we call it, to be more human readable and easily understandable, and easy to work with. Even there, how do you even go and say, hey, to I want this website, and then I want a couple of buttons on this website. How would you say that? So what we do is we talk to our design engineers or our business teams. They say, hey, I want to see this on the screen. How do you do it? So we have a whole team to take what we call these as requirements, and then document that and then convert that into a technical and functional spec. So what I mean by that is, when you're coding, you want to translate these requirements into more of a, I would say, how do you write this in code? So there's a midpoint. So there is an analyst who comes in and then, converts the business requirements into what the software engineers need, and the software engineers go take this and convert that into code.
Mm-hmm. So
So
I know only one type of coding language, JavaScript. Are there any others?
yeah, there are tons of languages. JavaScript, as you mentioned, is a very popular language in this day and age. There are tons of applications built on JavaScript, and then there is Java. There is C, C++. There is Lisp, Python. So every application, or I would say every language has its own set of users or type of applications. If you go talk about web development or web apps per se, you'll have a lot of people coding in JavaScript and Java. If you talk about operating systems, you'll have a lot of people coding in C++. And then if you talk about people who are into data and data management, they usually code in Python.
Those are a lot of coding languages.
Right.
What kind of softwares do you develop for New York Life? How different is it from other softwares?
Right. Yeah, so we do different types of software at New York Life. Some of the types are, we do web applications. So basically, we create websites, and then we create applications which get triggered from these websites. Say, for example, there is a whole flow of capturing data about a user and then recommending products to that user, saying, "Hey, this is your information. From based on this information, we are going to take this information and recommend some products of New York Life that would be more suitable for you." So we do those kind of applications. We do file processing in the back end. So we get huge files that we get from other insurance companies or from medical insurance companies when we are doing a background check on the people purchasing our life insurance products. So there are systems which take bunches of these files and then they process it. There is no UI or user interface for these kind of um, I would say programs. So they are more on the back end. They sit behind the scenes and work directly on the files, right? And there are mobile applications. So basically, some of the apps that you use, we have our own apps that our agents use. There is accounting software and there is compliance software. So because insurance industry is a regulated industry, So we need to comply with certain rules set by the government. So what we do is we build software which will run these rules in the background and ensure that all of the records, all of the data that we are capturing are all compliant according to the government standard.
Earlier in the interview, you said that
Mhm.
as a side project, you and your team like to like code and develop different applications.
Right.
Do you and your team also develop some of New York Life's applications?
Yep. So we are currently working on a web application. So that means it's available over the internet, and it's used by a certain set of users. So we are building the application mostly for our agents, New York Life agents who sell our life insurance policies. They use that application to gather data about anyone who wants to purchase New York Life policies. They take that, and then they feed it into our system, and then our system crunches the numbers and gives out a set of products that is suitable for the user, and then they use that, and then showcase, hey, this is the financial goal that you have set with us, and this is how our products can help you, and then they use that to make the sale.
What is the most exciting part of the
Mhm.
job that you do?
The most exciting part of the job I do is talking to business and understanding what their requirements are, and then translating that into technical and functional documents. So I'll give you an understanding of what I mean by technical and functional. So technical means that, hey, I need a set of servers here. I need to have some encryption standards. So all of that comes to more of a technical specification of the system itself or the platform that might need to be changed based on what the business requires. So business, what they'll say is, hey, I want to be able to communicate to my customer, um, that I can show them an illustration, or I can show them an evolution of how much you're paying, and then how that translates to benefits for you. So for example, we can pick a product, saying a life insurance product. So when they pick a product and they say, hey, this is my age, this is my medical condition, so on and so forth, and then say, I want to purchase this product of life insurance for a 20-year term. So what we say is, you're going to pay us so many dollars monthly, and these are the benefits that these dollars are going towards. So we show a graphical representation of that as well. So what happens is that when the business says, I need to showcase this to the consumer, what I do is I go and say, hey, we would require a document processor for this, or a rules processor for this, on the technical side. And on the functional side, we'll write a specification saying, hey, I should be able to do this business process. And we make points as functions when we are writing code for that module.
What made you choose to be a software engineer?
Mhm.
What did you want to be as a child?
So, growing up, I always wanted to be an engineer. My dad was one, so that played a significant part of what I wanted to be. I didn't have any specific set of engineering in mind, but growing up, I explored bunch of options, and then I always went towards more of playing around with electronics, and as I was interested in that, I chose that for my undergraduate studies. But software happened as more of an evolution, I would say, over many years. So once I graduated from my MS here in University of Florida, when I was looking for job opportunities, I found that there were tons of opportunities in software. Everything, including hardware, was now moving towards more of a software based role. So even when you're designing and testing hardware, you needed to be proficient in software. So that's where I said, hey, let me pick up software, and then that's how I became a software engineer.
Wow, that's a really inspiring story. What are your hobbies?
Hobbies. I have many hobbies, but primarily I love playing board games. And I grew up playing tons of board games. Currently, I'm playing Seven Wonders, Code Names, Settlers of Catan. These are some of the few games that I play on a regular basis, and I love these games. But growing up, we used to have game night at home, where the entire family would get together, and we would play Monopoly or Game of Life. Some And after a point, my dad and I, we sat together and we even designed a board game. So I was like very interested in math when I was in third grade, and my dad and I, we created a board game based on math.
I remember when I came to New Jersey,
Hmm.
I played Seven Wonders with you.
Yeah, and it's a fun game, right?
Yeah, it's really fun. I have it in my house right now.
Oh, that's great. I mean, I'm sure you'll have a lot of enjoyable moments with it.
Yeah, I will. And even I love playing board games. So fun.
Yeah, it's a fun way to network, and it also develops social skills.
Yeah. Thank you so much for coming on my show.
Thanks for having me once again. It's great to be on this show.
Yeah, this was so fun. I
Mhm.
enjoyed it.
Me too.
Dear listeners, follow my Facebook page, Curious Vedant, to get updates on my upcoming episodes. To listen at leisure on your phone and get notified about future episodes, subscribe by searching for Curious Vedant wherever you get your podcasts, such as Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, Google Podcasts, and many more. You can also listen to my show on curiousvedant.com. Thank you for listening to Curious Vedant. And don't forget to rate and leave comments